Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. I've been having like the most amount of technical difficulties. My Wi-Fi has been crapping out, so hopefully it lasts through the stream. But welcome back to another FPL stream with me and Olivia. We're super excited to do this. I'm actually not in great spirits about my fantasy team, and we'll get into all of that. It's been a pretty big nightmare this week, and I'm already prepping myself for an absolutely terrible game week. But we'll get into that. Olivia, how are you doing today?
I mean, I'm in the same sort of position. I know you've made transfers. I made transfers like straight after the weekend. I took a -4. Took a -4. Made 3 transfers. I don't know what I was doing really. I think I just did it on like, I don't know. I've made some weird decisions. Maybe I don't really know. But
so what did you do? Because I know you were like super happy with your wild card, and I was like, damn, I wish I had wild carded like you had. And now I'm trying to fix my team to get it to the wild card that I want it to be. And I don't know.
I was really happy with my wildcard team. Obviously got like nearly 100 points, had a really good week. And then last week it just went to rubbish because, you know, Trent was out. Lukaku didn't do anything. Luckily I captained Salah. I made that last minute change. But so basically I took out Luke Ayling, who I don't know if he's going to play. I'm not sure if he's going to play. So I took him out. I took Torres out, done with Torres already. And I took out Jacob Murphy. I had him on my bench, but I took him out and I put in Michael Keane for Everton because they've got Norwich, and I thought he scored a goal this season. He's quite basically anyone that plays Norwich is a good person to put in your FPL team, I think. So I went with him at the back. I went with Conor Gallagher, Brighton at home, and then I went with Ismail Assar, Newcastle at home. So they were my 3 moves, and obviously my front 3 is back to Ronaldo, Lukaku and Antonio, which I'm very happy about as well. So it's okay. The Michael Keane one's a bit weird, but I thought if I need to change that next week I can. But yeah, so they're the 3 subs I made. What are the subs you made?
Yeah, so guys, I had a stinker. Last week was an absolute disaster. And then let's see. So I had Torres. I was like, I'm not freaking playing this guy versus Chelsea. Absolutely not. I had Ayling. He got injured. Rafinha got injured, but I didn't want to transfer him out. I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's injured like perpetually. I feel like there may have been, I think that's it. And then on my bench, I have Basoma, and I was like, oh, he can come in. No, he's injured. So it was just like an absolute crap show. So I took a -8, you guys, and it blows. But I did, let me pull up my team. So I did Torres out for Gallagher because I was like, I'm tired of Torres. He's really expensive and he's not performing. And then I did Ayling out for Rudiger because I was going to have him in my team, and then I didn't, and then he scored. And it's not like I counted him to get many points, but it was somebody that I thought, if there's anybody who's more of a consistent starter in Thomas Tuchel's defense, is him. I think like Reece James I want, but I'm like nervous about the rotation risk because he hasn't been starting that many games. And I was thinking, you can have Reece James, but maybe he's not going to start every single game. Or I could have Rudiger, and he's going to probably start every game. And he's more likely than not going to get 6 points. So maybe he doesn't get those bonus points that Reece James would get, but it's probably more or less going to even out by the amount of time that Reece James plays. But that's kind of like a TBD. Maybe I'll change that in the future. And then I just did Calvert-Lewin for Antonio because I wasn't going to do it. And I was kind of just like waiting for Calvert-Lewin to get back. But there were so many injuries in my team that I had to do it because I didn't have enough players to even know if they were going to be fit. So it's really unfortunate. Like, prices have gone up. And I think now my team is okay. The defense is pretty weak.
Have you got a front 3 of Ronaldo, Lukaku, and Antonio?
Yeah, that's
pretty good. Although Lukaku's got City, but he was unlucky not to get on the score sheet against Spurs, and I think he'll cause them problems tomorrow. So I think that's a pretty good front 3. My back 3, I would say, is like I'm playing Livramento against Wolves. So
yeah, I'm playing him as well. I still have Marcel, and I'm kind of like thinking about upgrading him to somebody, but my problem is that I don't have enough money with my transfers to get Trent into my team unless I like massively downgrade the midfield.
Well, Trent will probably play against Brentford, but then they've got Man City anyway. Then they have Watford, then they have Man United, then you have Brighton, then they have West Ham. So yeah. I don't think they're guaranteed clean sheets. I'm thinking of downgrading Trent to Alonso, but then I still have that issue where I think Ben Chilwell is going to play. So Chelsea, when I look at Chelsea's fixtures, after this week, we then play Southampton at home, followed by Brentford away, followed by Norwich at home, followed by Newcastle away, Burnley at home, and then Leicester away. Leicester away is our next toughest game, which is the 20th of November, which I've just worked out I'm going missing because I'm at a wedding. But anyway, so I have a feeling that Ben Chilwell, Chelsea have got, so obviously we've got City this weekend, then we have Juve away. I think Marcos Alonso is going to play both of those games, right? So then I think Ben Chilwell's probably going to start against Southampton. So that's why I'm like, do I keep Trent? Do I sell Trent? I want a Chelsea defender. I don't know how I can get the obvious one, like you said, is Rudiger, because I wouldn't even be surprised. Aspi and Reece James you can't call. Alonso and Chilwell will be swapped around during this run. Yeah. Rudiger's the only one that's nailed on. Thiago Silva will be rested. Christensen might be rested. It's so hard to choose. So I would agree with you, and I think Rudiger is probably the safest bet in the Chelsea defence, but everyone's going to have him because we've got such a lovely run of games.
I know. I'm going to look at his ownership right now. He's only 11.4% owned, which is actually like quite low for a Chelsea defender, I think. Guys, I'm just going to close the door very quickly because I think it's pretty loud, at least from what I can tell. I don't know.
It doesn't sound too bad.
It's like really loud for me, and I didn't want it to be too distracting because we're like right in front of a road. So I'm thinking about upgrading Marcel into like, I was thinking like a City defender that, again, maybe somebody more nailed on, like a Diaz, because Trent is just so expensive. And like you said, Liverpool don't have like the most fantastic run of games, but I haven't decided who I want to upgrade just yet.
The only thing with Trent is that when he plays, more often than not, he gets attacking returns. He's on corners, he's on free kicks, he's got an unbelievable ball. He's always in and around the box, he's always getting into the box. And I've got him, but I might look to transfer him out maybe. But yeah, it's a really tough one because he's so expensive.
It's just like I'm having such a hard time trying to fit him into my team.
Yeah.
Like I am looking at my players, like I would have to I think I would have to downgrade Antonio. Jota I want to get rid of anyways. But I think even with that, I don't know. I think I would have to downgrade both of them, and then I would be able to get him in. And I'm thinking, like, is it worth it? But yes, he does get so many attacking returns, so I haven't decided what to do. Jota is another one that I wanted to get rid of this game week, and if I didn't have so many injury issues, I probably would have. They played Brentford, so I'm like, okay, that's the sole reason.
It's a pretty good fixture. He's going to play. I don't know if Firmino is still out injured. I think even if he was out injured, even if he was back, I think I would probably still think that Jota would play. I mean, yeah, it's been a bit frustrating, I think, for Jota owners, but I think it's a good game, Brentford away.
That's why I figured, like, okay, this isn't like a necessary change. I can kind of wait to see like how everybody plays. Just going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Thanks for watching. Hi. Olivia, you're getting a lot of love here. So guys, I just want to not like remind you, like I'm not ignoring your chat questions, but we're gonna get to them all at the end so that we can kind of like have a bit of a flow for this. I did have a chance to put together the graphics that I had done last week because I got promoted at work, and so I've been like absolutely crazy busy. But I do want to ask you, so who do you think is kind of like a must-have for this game week, and who do you think maybe is like a little bit overrated that we should avoid?
I think Antonio is a must-have for this weekend. He's back. He had a brilliant start to the season. We know how Leeds play. We know Leeds aren't going to change the way they play. And I think if most people sold him last week, they'll be getting him back in this week because that fixture's too good. I mean, I'm tempted to captain him. I currently have it on Ronaldo, but actually the way Man United have been playing and the way Villa have been playing, I think Villa might get something from that game. I mean, that's not me saying that Ronaldo's not going to score, because he probably is, because he always does. But I don't know. I'm eyeing up Antonio as a potential captaincy option.
But Leeds have like so many players out. I think
so many defenders out as well. Like a silly amount. I don't even know. Struijk's out. Llorente's out. Ayling, is he definitely out? You know, there's a lot like Dallas was playing right back, so Dallas might be playing bloody centre back at this rate. But so I'm tempted by Antonio. But yeah, I think he's a must-have. Who do you think? Who's yours?
Well, I think I don't know if he's a must-have, but I think he's a good buy option. I've been talking about him a lot. Conor Gallagher. I think he's still pretty cheap, 5.6. He's only 7.2% owned, has 2 goals, 2 assists in 4 games for Crystal Palace, which is absolutely insane, I think. And they're playing Brighton this weekend, so I think the thing with Crystal Palace is you don't really know which one is going to show up. I feel like it could go either way. But for somebody who's only 5.6, if you're looking to free up money in your bank and to make room for those more premium players, then I think that Conor Gallagher is probably one of the people to have as much as Ben Rama. I really think he's
one of the best options.
Yeah,
I've got him. I got him for this game week. I'll probably have him for a while now because he's such a threat, isn't he? So I don't know who my avoid is for this week. I mean, anyone that's still got Torres, I'd get rid, even though I think he's going to start against Chelsea.
He would be my avoid.
I don't think that's going to be a high-scoring game at all. I think, they've struggled to break Southampton down. I think they'll struggle to break us down. You know, we had about 1 million chances against Tottenham and only scored 3 goals. I'm not complaining, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. So I think if you've got Ferran Torres, get rid.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And he's just so I think he's 7.1, maybe even a little bit more now. And he just had, if he's not returning, and I think he was benched last game, Pep Roulette's hit again. I don't know what happened, but he just hasn't been returning. Jota is another one that I'm not. I was super sold on him, and I think he had started the season well, and now he's just not scoring goals. I think he did have opportunities and he missed them. But I this fixture with Brentford, I'm okay with, but I'm just not I want to get rid of him next game week because I'm just not happy with the returns. I feel like you could probably do better for. So you kind of mentioned captaincy choices. Let me just go back to pick my team. So Antonio plays Leeds, Ronaldo Aston Villa, Lukaku City, Salah Brentford. Currently my armband's on Salah, but I might change that to him.
Mine's on Antonio. I've just changed it. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think about Leeds having no defenders, Antonio being back, the more I want to go for him. I think Aston Villa played really well against us, lost 3-0, didn't deserve to lose 3-0. They had such good chances. If it wasn't for Edouard Mendy, that game would have been very different. They then played against Everton, won that comfortably. And they then gave us such a tough game, even though it wasn't even their first team. I know it wasn't ours, but I thought they played really well in that game as well. So I think they can get something from that game. So I'm swaying towards a draw or something. And I just, those Leeds injuries are pointing me towards Antonio.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely not going with Lukaku. I was you know what? The 1 week that I freaking captained this guy.
Lukaku, genuinely, Lukaku will be my captain for the next 4 or 5 game weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Once Chelsea have easier fixtures, but against City, I'm absolutely not. And then I thought Salah versus Brentford, also could be favorable. Actually, Brentford have been playing quite well. Like they have
only conceded 2 goals.
Yeah, so
I think that's going to be a tough game for everyone this season. I know everyone laughed at Arsenal when they lost to them, but I think it's going to be a tough place to go for everyone this season.
So so I don't know. Maybe Antonio. I don't know. I think you convinced me. I think.
Okay, don't blame me when it all goes wrong and it gets 2 goals. Just let you know if you get sent off. Don't.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Okay, guys. So I want to get to some of your questions now. Dan, thanks for tuning in. He says, "Hey, Ellie, Liv transferred in Pereira for Ailing this week. Thoughts? Best luck, both of you, to this week. I will need it. Like I'm on it. I'm already on a minus.
I need it as well. I think that's a good move. Pereira's, when he has played, he's obviously been the threat he always has in FPL. You know, he gets forward so much. He is expensive, but this week they've got Burnley at home, so you're expecting at least a clean sheet there from Pereira, and we know how much he loves to get forward. And Ailing, even if he does play against West Ham, I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet, and Ailing doesn't get forward nearly half as much as Pereira does, so I think that's a really good move.
Yeah, I had put Ailing in because I was like convinced with Leeds fixtures, and I thought that they do have good fixtures, but like at the end of the day, I just felt like Leeds end up conceding. Like the game, even against Newcastle, the game was so open. I thought it was gonna be like 4-4. I was so surprised that it was 1-1. So I don't know. I don't know if like we all hyped on this like Ailing train, especially because he's like for option. But for clean sheet, probably better Pereira. Fahim says, and we kind of talked about this a little bit, but Chelsea defender except Rudiger, who do you think will start regularly? And my answer is I have no idea.
I genuinely think Rudiger. I think he's the only one. Like I genuinely don't think, right. We know Reece James and Aspi are going to be rotated at right wing back,
especially with Chalobah as well. Like he's coming in,
and you've got Alonso. I know Alonso's played consistently for the moment, but Chilwell's back now. Chilwell played midweek. I fully expect, like I said, Chilwell to start against Southampton after these 2 next games. So I think they're really not sure whether they're worth touching. Thiago Silva, we know he's not going to play every single game. Christensen's been brilliant, but you know there's every chance that Aspi drops back in, Reece James goes right back, then Christensen gets a rest. It's Chalobah's in there now. I just don't think anyone is as reliable as Rudiger. I just don't think it's worth not wasting money, but you know, if like you're not a guaranteed starter and you're like 6 mil for Alonso, and like it's a lot of money to have when you don't necessarily know. I thought by this time we'd probably have, maybe not this time, maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe we'd have like a set, you know, back 3 that we definitely use, but Tuchel changes it so much, and I just don't think we can. It's impossible trying to second guess what he's going to do. So I would honestly stay away from everyone but Rudiger.
Yeah, I agree. And I think kind of adding to that, like I feel like Rudiger's the only one that really doesn't have like competition for a spot, because like there's nobody really that fills in that left center back spot. Like we saw, I think Malang Sarr filled that in versus Aston Villa, but I think he still needs development. I don't think he's going to be competing with Rudiger in the Premier League to get his spot. So I think unless he gets injured or something, like that's basically his spot to lose. And Mohammed says, I think taking a risk on Alonso Cancelo with the fixtures they have is good, especially if you can't. For me, it's just not worth it. Like for somebody who's so expensive and then they might not start, it could perfectly pay off if they do start. But just for me personally, like I'm more risk averse, and I would prefer to play, if I'm paying that much for somebody, I want to know that they're an out and out starter.
Mohammed, you take the risk. You do that. I'm definitely not doing that. I am not, because like Cancelo, he's like played well. City have got good fixtures, but I expect Kyle Walker to start there on tomorrow. If Pep, you know, Chelsea have got a very quick attack. Cancelo's not that quick compared to Kyle Walker. I fully expect Kyle Walker to play there. It's a huge risk. I mean, if you want to take it, you can, but I think the fact Chelsea have got good fixtures, like, makes Alonso less appealing, because I think he'd be happy to have Ben Chilwell come in for Southampton at home, Norwich at home.
Yeah.
rather than City away, Liverpool away, Spurs away, United away, whatever. So I think that makes him slightly less appealing. But if you want to take Naris Mohammed, you do it. Let me know how it goes.
We're not doing it. But I also said, like, avoid Kovacic, and the man has got it.
We were literally saying this. We were like, right, let's just wait and see if he gets. And he's bloody like assisted or scored nearly every game. I'm like, whoa, what on earth is going on? And like, also, this is the thing. Like, tomorrow, he's not going to drop Jorginho. He's not going to not play Kante, and he's not going to not play Kovacic. So, are we going to play all three of them?
That's what I was thinking as well.
And then play. I
think Mount is out. Is it Mount out? I thought I read that somewhere.
Yeah, Mount's out. Sorry, we're going off topic here, but I'm just going to say I want the Chelsea team to be Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Christensen. No. Oh, that's tough, actually. He might play Asby, but anyway, I would like Reece James and Alonso. Then I want 3 in midfield, and then I want Werner and Lukaku. That would be my preferred team, because I think Werner and Lukaku could be quite a good link up there.
They have like pretty good link up already, I think, and I feel like Havertz and Lukaku haven't like developed it yet. Havertz and Mount have kind of had like a slower start.
Yeah, they've been slightly off, haven't they?
So I think as well, like, Werner can take advantage of, like, I mean, Havertz is super fast as well, but Werner is just like,
Werner's so quick.
So quick. It was so funny in the Aston Villa game because the players were just like overhitting the ball so much, and I was like, Werner's quick, but he's not that. He's not that quick. He's not gonna get to everything.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're both Chelsea fans, so obviously we have to have some Chelsea talk here. FPL Slovakia said, would you transfer out Greenwood since Ronaldo joined? He's just not having that amount of chances anymore.
I think he's still a good option because he's still going to start every game, I think. But he is going to start out on the right. I think he's a better number 9. He's better when he plays through the middle. He obviously gets more chances. All those tap-ins that Ronaldo's scoring, that would be Mason Greenwood. So I think, he's less appealing now because of Ronaldo. I mean, I just can't see how anyone would have Greenwood over Ronaldo. Obviously, the price difference is massive, but after Ronaldo's performance against West Ham, he's definitely on penalties, I think it's safe to say, as well. He literally was like begging for one. Like Greenwood's like mid-price for midfielders as well, so you could get a decent enough replacement for him. But I would still have a Man United attacker in my team. But yeah, for me, it would be Ronaldo, and he'd be
1,000%. I think there are like lower cost options, like some of the Everton midfielders have been doing really well.
Decore's a great shout.
Yeah, Decore as well. So yeah, I personally transferred him out as soon as Ronaldo joined. Tom Boyd says, should I drop Lukaku this week only to bring in Antonio? Do you mean like transfer him out or drop him to the bench?
No, I think it's a transfer out.
If
you have them both, play them both, because they're two players. I think that it's hard. Man City at home is a tough game. Of course it is. Do I expect Chelsea to score? Yes. Out of anyone, who would I think that would be? Lukaku. So, I mean, if you want to think short term and you want to go only for this week, and you're happy to maybe bring Lukaku back in next week, and you want to sort of do that transfer, then yeah, I would say Antonio's got a better fixture than Lukaku. So if you wanted to do that for 1 week, then fine, then bring Lukaku back in next week. It is sort of a waste of a transfer, but if you think it would be worth it, then yeah, definitely think about doing it. I mean, I have them both, and I'm glad I have them both because I will be playing them both for now until one of them drops like out of form, basically.
Yeah, I was so annoyed that I transferred out, or I made some transfer, and then I had Calvert. Oh yeah, I was transferring in Lukaku, and I had Calvert-Lewin and Antonio to choose from, and I transferred Antonio out because I was like, whatever, and then Calvert-Lewin got injured. I also like think about who your third, like who your other 3 attackers are as well, because if you have Lukaku, Ronaldo, and somebody else, maybe it's worth transferring out that somebody else for Antonio as well. Kiana said, which goalkeepers must have? I want Mendy, but I already have 3 Chelsea, Rudiger, Havertz, and Lukaku. I would personally transfer out Kai Havertz. I don't think he's a nailed-on starter, and he hasn't really been scoring goals or getting assists.
Yeah, I had him at the start of the season. I'm like, nah, get rid. He's expensive as well. He's nearly at 9 million. Well, he might not be anymore. He'll probably be around 8.5 or whatever. It's hard because Man City usually, have a lot of shots. They didn't against Southampton. They had 1 on target, and it was literally the last second. But when Mendy, I think last season didn't make that many saves. He did make some saves, but never loads in one game. So when Chelsea got a clean sheet, he'd only pick up 6 points, or 4 for the clean sheet and 2 for playing. Whereas last week against Villa, he literally made save after save after save and would be picking up save points. So it depends if you think that City are going to have loads of chances and Mendy's going to make loads of saves, because Thomas Tuchel confirmed he is starting tomorrow. So yeah, it's a tough one. I'm looking Jordan Pickford's out. Otherwise, I'd probably say him, because Norwich just look a bit dead and buried already. I wouldn't say United. I wouldn't say Leeds or West Ham. Maybe Fabianski if you're looking for a different keeper. Leeds haven't got any. Maybe not Rafinha. They got no Bamford. So that's that's their main attacking threat wiped out. Apart from that, I'm looking at the other fixtures, and there's no one really that stands out for me apart from Everton. But Jordan Pickford obviously is injured, I think, or is out. So if you want to go Mendy, yeah, I think he's quite expensive, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 6.
So that's a tough decision. I think there's probably better keepers with better fixtures. Not better keepers, but for better fixtures for this game week, probably than Edouard Mendy.
Yeah, totally.
City, yeah, you just don't know what. I don't know. I've got no idea what City's going to turn up, to be perfectly honest.
I know, and it's so hard because every time Pep plays Chelsea, he changes first he had 2 DMs, then 1 DM, then he had no DM.
I'm thinking he might not actually change something this time. I'm hoping. Well, I'm not hoping. I'm hoping he does, but I think he surely from the last 3 games against Thomas Tuchel, he has learned from his mistakes. But it would be so like Pep to just play someone completely out of position and hope for the best. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of am thinking can Chelsea really beat City 4 times in a row?
I'm just sitting there thinking they have to beat us sooner or later.
I know. But we'll always have the UCL win over them.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we've got a massive banner of the Champions League trophy for tomorrow at Stamford Bridge, just to wind them up a little bit more, just to remind them.
You lost. This Scrambler says, have you guys discussed captaincy? Yeah, we already discussed captaincy, but just to give you a lowdown, we think that Villa are going to be quite difficult to play. Ronaldo could get a goal, but they have looked strong. So we're leaning towards Antonio because Leeds have a lot of players out. Salaba or Brentford could also be a shout. But I think Olivia convinced me to go for Antonio.
I think mine was between Antonio and Ronaldo. That's not me saying Ronaldo's not going to score, because I think Ronaldo probably will, because he just seems to be in the right place at the right time all the time at the moment. But Leeds have got about 85 defenders missing, and Antonio's been in great form up until obviously missing the last game. Even when he didn't play in the Premier League game, he played in Europe and scored and was brilliant. So I'm set on Mikel Antonio. But I could understand if you went either way. I think it'd be really tough, and I'd probably say they'll probably both score a similar amount of points.
I'm making him my captain. My team is not gonna get points. I have White, Marcel, Rudiger, Livramento, Jota, Salah, Gallagher, Lukaku, Ronaldo, Antonio. I'm just setting myself up for disappointment.
Mine is. So my Sanchez in goal, Michael Keane, Trent, and Livramento. Gallagher, Gray, Salah, and Sarr, and then Ronaldo, Lukaku, Antonio. So I'm okay-ish with that. I'm yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm just I'm not pleased with playing 4 at the back, but I
played 4 at the back last week, and it was not a mistake, but that was because obviously Antonio completely messed up every single one of my plans for last weekend. And I probably won't play 4 at the back again. I plan on playing 3 at the back, but now I've got players that I'm happy with in midfield that I know are going to play every week. like I had Jacob Murphy. I wasn't sure if he was going to play, so that's why I went for at the back, because I put him on my bench. So it's like now I have Gallagher and Sarr to choose from. I'm more than happy to play 3 at the back now. I probably won't go 4 again.
Yeah, I have Rafinha, but he's injured. Well, it's like 50%. I haven't seen anything, but it's just like a risk.
Have a look. Yeah.
I mean, I could always play him, and then if he doesn't start, then somebody will come off the bench. That's also an option as well.
Yeah, I haven't put anything up. I don't know when his press conference was. It must have been yesterday.
So TBD. Mo asks, is there a nailed on Chelsea attacker besides Lukaku? I don't think so.
Nope. No. Sosmo.
I lost my place in the comments, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, let me see where. Okay, here. Gaurav says, I've Mount Bamford, both of them not playing this game week. Should I bring in only Antonio and go with 4 defenders, or bring in a midfielder also 4-4?
It depends. Yeah, it depends. Mount's only going to miss this game week. But I don't know. We've got Southampton at home next. Is that right? Southampton at home after Man City, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know how long Bamford's going to be out for. If you're 4 defenders, if you're happy with your 4 defenders and your 4 defenders are strong, then go with your 4 defenders. Unless you really, really, really want to make a transfer, don't just make a transfer for the sake of it. But obviously, if you're looking at your 4 defenders and going, don't know if I fancy that. I've taken a -4 this week. There's no harm in taking -4s if you think it's going to pay off, and if you think it will be worth it. So it just depends who your 4 defenders are, really. And I think Mount also, like last season, I said he's guaranteed like nailed on. He's had a bit of a slower start to the season this season. More often than not, he was the best player on the pitch last season without getting goals or assists. He hasn't quite been the same this season so far, but so that's why I can see Lukaku, Mount, Havertz and Werner being rotated even more so now, especially with our run coming up. So I wouldn't even say he's nailed on. I'd say like Lukaku's the only.
Yeah, I thought that Mount would be, but he's and now that we saw the midfield 3 of Conte, Jorginho, and Kovacic, which is like kind of taking out another attacker. Yeah, you go in for it. All right, Carly just said, I have both Greenwood, Ronaldo, Salah, and Lukaku in my front. Would you say that's a wise choice?
I mean, yeah, so Salah, Lukaku, and Ronaldo are the 3 that I think everyone needs to have. United, do they score goals? I don't know. I think they've been sort of riding their luck a bit recently. This is my personal preference. I don't like doubling up on attackers from one team, because I know you've obviously got double the chance of getting returns, but say they play badly. Like, if you had an attacker for another team, you need 2 teams to play badly. Whereas, if you've got 2 players from one team, all it takes is one bad game and they're both wiped out. Aston Villa at home is on paper is a nice fixture. But knowing how they played against Chelsea, I think they have a chance at Old Trafford, and I think they'll cause them problems. But obviously that's defenders. I'm not sure if that really affects Greenwood. It depends. I think Greenwood's been in great form. I still think he's going to score goals. I just don't think he's going to get as many options as Ronaldo. I'd have Ronaldo, obviously, and I think it's okay having both of them, but obviously I wouldn't just have Greenwood.
Yeah. I am feeling that with my double up of Jota and Salah. Yeah. It was not a wise choice. So learn from my mistakes, because I've literally been trying to transfer Jota out and then just had like fires in my team, and now I have to take a -8, and like my team is like gone to shit for this week. But yeah, learn from my mistakes. I broke my own rule. I usually only double up maybe like a defender and an attacker if I really like the team, like Chelsea, maybe like a Liverpool, like you have Salah and Trent or something like that. But doubling up attackers, learn from my mistake, guys. I don't what's the word? I don't encourage. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no. You guys know what I mean. You know what I mean. So guys, we still have like a lot of comments, but I think we've gone through like the majority of the main talking points for this game week. And if you have any questions, you can always like comment on this video or on Twitter or whatever. But guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to drop this video like if you're watching it, because it helps out a lot, and subscribe. And yeah, Liv, thanks again. Always a pleasure. Any last words?
I just hope we both have better game weeks than last game week, and I hope if we both go Antonio that our captain decision pays off.
I really do. I was so pissed last game week, and then I just have this feeling like I just, you know, when you have the feeling like this isn't gonna go well.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling. I've got a better feeling about this game week. I've got a better feeling. I'm okay.
I still feel like I have to make so many transfers to my team.
It's fine. Week by week, it's fine.
Week by week. That's our motto, guys. So hope you enjoyed this stream. Hope that you have a nice Friday evening and enjoy the weekend. And until next time, we're out.